Hey guys, this is Melissa from the House of Plaid Fuzz, and today I'm going to talk about how I've lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of my new content, and if you're not, welcome back. Over the past couple of weeks, I've gotten so many questions about this on social media that I thought I would just do a quick video and kind of address some of the frequently asked questions. I am going to preface this with a few things. First and foremost, this is what has, worked for me. If you do a different eating plan, more power to you. I don't pretend to say that this is like one size fits all. I'm just telling you what has worked for me. I would appreciate it if we kept the comments positive. Also, I am under a doctor's supervision. I'm not just off doing some crazy weight loss thing. My doctor is very closely monitoring me, and she is absolutely thrilled with the results I've been seeing. So now that we have that out of the way, my further disclaimer is if you watched my life updates video, you know that I've been battling with bronchitis for weeks on end. And I'm still coughing a lot. I'm feeling better, but I'm still coughing a lot. So I have a cough drop in my mouth, and I'll probably have to edit a lot of coughing out of this video, so just pardon me if it's a little rough. So I'm not going to rehash my whole life update video, but long story short, a couple weeks ago, I went to the doctor for this sickness that never ends, and I got some surprising results from my blood work. I found out I was diabetic, and I found out that my blood sugar was high and had just barely pushed me over into the diabetic range. So that was a major wake-up call, that it was time to change my lifestyle. And I had read a book, I don't know, maybe a year ago, called The Engine 2 Diet by Rip Esselstyn. And it was basically just a whole foods, plant-based type of diet, and kind of talking about how, what they call the standard American diet, how that has caused so many diseases like diabetes. And so I was kind of familiar with the concept, but I actually picked up this Engine 2 7-Day Rescue Diet book. This is the stricter version of the Engine 2 diet. And this is specifically for people who are trying to lose weight, who have maybe heart issues, high cholesterol, things of that nature. This is for people who need a major diet overhaul or like a detox or a reset. Some people just do the 7 days as kind of a detox. The average weight loss in those 7 days is 3 to 14 pounds. And, then some people, like, I'm going to continue on until I reach my goals, which is to be off of medication and weight goal. So, like I said, this is like whole food, plant-based, which just means like no processed food. You're not eating like vegan burgers or, Oreos are vegan. It's cutting out kind of the vegan junk food and getting back to just whole like plants, vegetables, and whole grains. The 7 principles to this plan are eat plants, eat whole foods, chew your calories, which means like no smoothies, no milk in your coffee, things like that. Avoid calorie dense foods. This plan does limit, you can't have any nuts. You can have 1/4 of a cup of walnuts per day, which I'm allergic to. So no, you can only have like 1/4 of an avocado, things of that nature. No oil whatsoever. Limit your protein, which I don't find that it actually like limits your protein so much, just that your eating is so centric around vegetables that a lot of your calories are coming from the vegetables versus, more protein heavy foods. Limit your salt, sugar, and fat. I have not completely cut salt. I'll be honest with you. That is the one area I'm cheating just a little bit in, just because it's hard for me in my area to find completely salt-free things. So I'm just trying to make the best choices with what I have available. And the last one is to walk every day, which I also am not doing because I have bronchitis and I can barely like walk across the house without having a coughing fit. So I started this plan the day after I went to the doctor, and I weighed the most I've ever weighed when I went to the doctor's office, which was also kind of a shock. The main concept of this diet is not just to lose weight, it's about becoming healthy. But obviously weight is kind of a benchmark as to how your body is responding. And I didn't weigh myself almost for the first entire week. And then I just couldn't stand it. I ended up losing, I think it was 16 pounds in the first week, which is crazy. But a few different factors went into that. For one, obviously I have a lot of weight to lose. The more weight you have to lose, the faster it's gonna come off initially. Secondly, I mean, obviously that's a lot of water weight. You're probably not gonna lose 16 pounds of fat in 1 week. My diet before, like, I like to have a glass of wine at night. We did eat a lot of processed, like, vegan foods. So there's a lot of sodium in that. So I think a lot of the weight was just losing, like, some inflammation out of my body. I have a chronic back pain situation, and, like, it hasn't completely healed it by any stretch. But I've noticed a lot less just pain and irritation from that. So there's definitely a lot less inflammation in my body. So I went back to the doctor then a couple days ago, which would have been, you know, 2 weeks. And their scale confirmed it. I was like, you know, is my scale measuring the same as theirs? But yes, I lost 20 pounds in those first 2 weeks. And I was really curious to see what my doctor would say. She was thrilled. And I'm in the process of figuring out how to get my blood sugar levels back down to normal, but obviously losing weight is one of the main components to doing that. So she's basically just told me, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. I didn't have to increase any medicine or anything like that. So that was definitely a win for me. What is interesting about this book, and I will be 100% honest with you, I'm not all the way through it, but a lot of it is kind of repeating from the first Engine 2 book that I read. If you've watched any documentaries on, like, Netflix about food, you've probably seen a Dr. Esselstyn on there. And this is his son who wrote this book. And he's not a doctor or anything. He was actually a firefighter. And he talks about in the book, you know, going on all these rescue calls and how he thought when he became a firefighter, you know, it'd be these, like, 5-alarm blazes and things like that. And really most of their job was responding to, you know, people in diabetic shock, people having heart attacks. They talked about, you know, there was a couple of, like, morbidly obese people that it took like 6 of them to try to get out of their house, and things of that nature. And it really is a wake-up call because, you know, while I don't yet need a forklift to get me out of the house, obviously my diet and my lifestyle is starting to take a toll on my health. I'm only 37 years old. So I'm very thankful that I got the wake-up call when I did. I am not going to pretend to give anyone medical advice or anything of that nature, but if you have been looking for something to just kind of restart your health and get you back on track, I would highly recommend at least read the book. There's also a Facebook group for this challenge that I find super helpful. And, you know, obviously most people are probably not going to lose 20 pounds in the first 2 weeks. You will definitely lose something. And most people also see a reduction in their blood pressure and their cholesterol numbers, which both of those numbers are totally fine for me, even when I was eating terrible. So mercifully, that's not something I have to address right now. I would say the biggest challenge for me thus far has just been kind of changing my palate. I think it almost helps that I've been a little sick. I don't think my appetite has been quite normal. But, you know, at night, I like to snack. I'm a huge snacker. I like to snack. I like to have a glass of wine. And that's just been a habit to break. I am 15, 16 days in now. And I have to say, I feel like I almost have worse cravings now than I did in the beginning. But I've come so far in breaking those habits. Like, this is absolutely the longest I've ever stuck with any clean eating plan of any sort, without any cheating. I haven't eaten out in that entire time. I haven't had a drop of alcohol in that entire time. I really haven't cheated at all, other than, like I said, a few things have salt in them. One other thing I was afraid of is that our grocery bill would be sky high because this is very centric on whole fruits and vegetables. And especially buying those fresh can be very expensive. The first week I did totally blow our grocery budget and I bought way too much food, and I was kind of just a shot in the dark about what I would want to eat or what we would need. By the second week, I had joined the Engine 2 meal planner. And I'm going to leave a discount code in the description box below. I believe it's normally $99, but you can get $30 off of it. And it's just like a database of a bunch of recipes. You can choose how many people you're shopping for. You know, do they have big appetites, little appetites? And then you go through and pick breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can choose from several different recipes. And what I really like about it is then it populates a grocery list for you. So I order my groceries online from Walmart, actually, and I can just look at that list as I go and check off. Super easy. And our grocery bill, normally I budget $100 a week, and we have not hit $100 for the past 2 weeks. I would have to look. I think this week was between $80 and $90, and that's with no, like, I'm not bargain shopping. I'm just buying specifically what we need. So for us anyway, this definitely has not been more expensive. Not to mention the fact we're not eating out. We're saving a huge amount of money there. We're not buying alcohol. We're not buying pop, anything like that. So we're actually saving a lot of money this way. And obviously the health benefits are incredible. My husband and daughter have not been following it to a T like I have been, but they've both lost about 10 pounds each. And my husband actually hit a weight goal he's been shooting at for a long time. He was very excited. So he's definitely on board to keep eating this way, which makes it a lot easier when your family is on the same page that you are. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'm going to leave a link to the meal planner below. I will link this book. And I will continue to update you as I progress. My goal is really, I don't have a specific weight goal. Obviously, I need to lose weight, and I mean, ballpark, I have an idea of where I'd like to be at. But my main goal is just to get off all of my medication and just to be mobile again. Since I hurt my back, it's really affected my mobility, which affects my health, which affects my mood and everything. So I'm really excited to see where I'm at 6 months from now. So if you have any questions, please ask below. I'd love to talk to you about it. Like I said, let's just keep it positive. If you are not on board with plant-based eating, you know, I'm not about shoving things down people's throat, but let's just keep it positive. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you next time.